Hi guys, this is Igor from Vinous Reverie Wine Shop. Justice Robinson just did the assessment of the 2023 Bordeaux, and this is an primeur. So this is where the Bordeaux houses taste wines out of the barrels for the wine trade. So this is initial assessment. The wines are not even in bottles yet. I want to give a brief overview of kind of my thoughts about it. So let me first share where Bordeaux is. All right. All right, guys. All right. So this is the Bordeaux map right here. So we're going to talk about left bank. And when people say left bank, they mean the left bank of the Gironde River. So this right here is the left bank. And you can see all the villages here. The four most famous ones are Saint-Estep right here, Pauillac, which is the most famous of them all. It has three first growth Bordeaux here, Saint-Julien, and down south Margaux, including the other villages. So if you guys don't know about the growth definition, uh, basically it means that during the 1855 judgment of in Bordeaux, they decided to classify who makes the best wines uh, on a level basis. So basically, first growth were four houses that at that time considered to make the best wines in Bordeaux. It was Lafite, Haut-Brion, Margaux, and Latour. And down the line, they also added Chateau Mouton. So those are the five basically best wine, Cabernet-based wines in the world. Then there was second growth, third growth, fourth growth, and fifth growth. They did the assessment of the houses kind of down the line. And the idea is they all make great wines, but the ones on a higher level make greater wines than the ones below them. So this is kind of the assessments of them. As we'll be going down the list. I'll let you know which are first growth Bordeaux and kind of what the scores that they received. First, let me share with you the what the Jancis Robinson said about the review. So it was written by James Lawther. He's one of the contributors to JancisRobinson.com. He lives in Bordeaux. In an article, he gives an assessment of like the weather, the conditions, etc., like a lot of details. But here he kind of at the bottom he gives the overall assessment. So 2023 offers some good to very good wines of a more classic Bordeaux nature. The power and density of recent top years, 22, 2019, 2018, is more muted. But on the whole, the top chateaus have delivered in a fresher and less extreme form. All right, so it sounds like it's a kind of good vintage, not a fantastic vintage. I know 19 and 20 were considered fantastic vintages. 22 had good assessment. All right, so I sorted the wines highest to lowest. So 17 and a half points. That's basically like 94 points on a 100-point scale. And we start with Haut-Brion in Pessac-Léognan. So yeah, that's a first growth. 17 and a half points, 94 points. Good score, not a fantastic score. You expect the wines in a great vintage from Haut-Brion to be around, I don't know, 18 to 18 and a half points. La Mission Haut-Brion, the second one from them, Hog Lafite, Domaine Chevalier, they're a good producer, 16 and a half points. It's on the lower end. That's about 90 points. Good score, but not a fantastic score by Bordeaux standards. All right, let's scroll down to the next village, commune. All right. Margaux. Chateau Margaux, same thing, 17 and a half points, which is about 94. Good score, not great. Chateau Palmer, third growth, but highly regarded. More regarded now than a lot of second growth. All right, let's go what we have next one. This is scrolling through Margaux. 16 pointers for a lot of these Bordeaux. So, these wines, they're going to be in the range of 50, 60, 70, $80. 15 and a half points. I mean, these are average wines. Moulin and Eastrac, that's lesser villages. Not too many great wines typically come out of these villages. You get good value, but not like fantastic wines. Saint Julien, Leoville Las Cases, that's the second growth, 17.5 plus. Leoville Barton, 17.5. I mean, good scores. They're getting good scores, kind of like he said. It's like a classic vintage, but not a fantastic vintage. All right, which one do we have? So St. Julien, Gloria, that's a good wine. Right now, I have Gloria in the shop, the 2019 Gloria, and that one has 18 points. Just to give you a assessment, this is like 90 versus 95 points. So here's the difference between 2019 and 2023. Even though these are still babies, so I want to kind of mention that it's out of barrel. So probably the scores will change within 2 years when they're reassessed. But this is out of the barrel tasting. All right. Pauillac, oh yeah, finally getting some 18 pointers. Lafitte and Mouton, the two first growth. All right, you got 18 points. Pichon Longueville, Lynch Bajas, this is a fifth growth, but a lot of people think it's at a second growth level. So all the big names in Pauillac seem to be getting really high scores. So Pauillac is doing as a village, it seems like he's making the best wines in 2023 on initial assessment. All right. And the last one is going to be Saint Estep. Chateau Montrose, second growth. Cost Distronel, 17.5. Yep, good scores. Kind of on par with the top of the other wines from same villages. Segur. Chateau Maine, in the 2020 vintage, they got 18 points. Here, 16.5 plus. So another difference between 90-91 versus 95 in a great vintage. Kind of tells you how vintage plays a huge role in Bordeaux. Much more so than in Napa, I think. All right, so this is the overall assessment. So yeah, it looks like it's a good year. Not a fantastic year like the last several years, but still you could find some good wines, but probably on the higher end of the poll. All right, guys. So this is kind of fun overview. I hope this was educational, and you can check out some of the older vintages that I have in my shop at vinusforfree.com. All right, guys. I'll talk to you next time.